Hey everyone, my name is Casey. This time on Patina Pit Stop, we're going to go bracket racing at Music City Raceway, Tuesday night, 8th mile drag race with my 64 Chevelle station wagon. I'm excited. Let's get rolling. Burnout, but I'm going to today. Man, it is sun. Nothing. First time run, I had a 199 60 foot. I've never had that good of a 60 foot. 560 in the 330. I did not bring my old time slip, so I don't have a reference for that. But I ran an 863 in the 8th mile at 81 miles an hour. That's 2 miles an hour better than last time. Burnouts are fun, so I guess I can do that. I had a 203 60 foot spinning and still went an 869 at 80. Still like record breaking numbers, but I spun. I've never spun with this car, so I'm going to drop tire pressure a little bit, or I might have to do a burnout. One of the two. I got to come up with a plan. Having fun though. It's fast. Alright, this is the third time run. I dropped the tire pressure a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of a burnout. This thing's running good. ran though. Felt good. I had a 005 reaction time, a 20060 foot, and I went an 865 with an 8 at 80 miles an hour. That's not bad. And considering all that, I'm pretty consistent, pretty good lights. I'm pretty happy, actually. This thing's running really good. I probably should check a spark plug. The cool air probably is helping, but when you bracket race, the last thing you should do is a bunch of different things, and I did a bunch of little things, but I did not think those things would add up to so much. I'm tempted to put the timing back just to see what it would do. Actually, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the timing back and see if it slows down. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Changed a couple of things in the car. I put a small spacer on, I put a smaller squirter in the back of the carburetor, and I bumped up the timing. All those things equaled my fastest time by over a tenth. So I don't know what's fixing it. I don't know what's improving the car. So let's go back to my old timing. No burnout. Go back to my old timing and see if I lose what I gained. Okay, so I bumped the timing back, did not change anything. So the two things that I did to my car the two things I did to my car, one, I put a different spacer. It is a 1/2-inch spacer instead of a 1-inch, but it's got a split in the plenum. I don't think that made any difference. I think 100% of my gain is from the squirter. I went down to a smaller squirter, and I really feel like that's what made the big difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to leave a little bit easier, not idle it up quite as high, maybe go 1700. And I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of a burnout because it's spinning. Track's not very good tonight. They're not prepping. They're really short-staffed, so I'm not picking on the guys. They're just short-handed tonight, and the track is not great. So I don't need that to affect me. So I had a 020 light, a 20160 foot, and I spun a little bit, and I ran an 866 the pass before that, with the timing still higher. The time pass before that, I went an 865. So the timing didn't make a difference. I think it's the squirter. So I'm pretty happy. Things are running good. Not going to mess with it anymore. Not going to make more time runs. I think I'm feeling pretty good on the tree. That's my update. I'm hungry. I'm going to get some to eat and hopefully start running pretty soon. All right, first round. This is the trophy race. an 072 light. I went an 867 on an 865 dial-in. He had an 083 light and went dead on with an 8. Margin of victory 007. I won by 007. I did let off just a little bit. I didn't have a whole lot of room. That was a really close race. That was a really close race. I don't know if I killed any time. My mile an hour was almost the same. I slowed down just a hair. Round 2. Both had bad lights. I knew I missed the tree, and I did by a mile. Out of 148, that's embarrassing. He had a 142, so he wasn't much better. He hit the brakes, and I went wide open, and he shouldn't hit the brakes either. He went 948 on a 945. I went a 868 on an 865. If I had a better light, I would have won that. That was just a bad light. So this is first round of the other class, Super Street. This is the class I didn't race it first time, so this is a points race. So I need to go some rounds. I need to shake off whatever I just did and just get my head right. Hopefully I can stay in the left lane. We'll see. I don't know if he did or not, but it looked like he dumped. Whew. I did not feel good about my lighting yet. I gotta get better at my light. Come on, Casey. God, I needed my glasses. I think it's an 082. I killed 2 miles an hour, so I definitely was on the brakes. He broke out, but he had a 189 light. I don't know if he hit the brakes or not. Yeah, he ran a 701 on a 705 with a 189 light. I had an 082, I think. I'm gonna have to bring glasses because I can't see. I took the stripe by 03. That's pretty good. Whew. I lost lane choice. I'm in the right lane for the first time all night. Nothing to worry about. So I'm in the right lane against a Camaro that runs 720s. I'm not going to do a burnout because my burnouts have sucked. Now I'm second 073 to 071 light. He had an 071. I had an 073. I went an 864 with a 7 on an 865. He went a 724 with a 5. He went dead on with a 5. I broke out by 0.003 on the brakes. I took the stripe by 005. Ah! All right, guys. Next day, back from the track. Just want to go over a couple of things that I was thinking about. First of all, the car is running really good. Obviously, I'm very happy with the wagon. It picked up way more than I thought, and we'll get into that in a second. The other thing is I'm realizing I'm getting more comfortable. Every time I drive the car, I'm more comfortable that it's going to be okay. I'm starting to trust it more. I'm not nervous when I leave that I'm going to break down or what's going to go wrong. It's starting to give me having a little bit of faith, not only in the wagon, but the guy working on the wagon that kind of worked out all the bugs. You know, I'm kind of doing little things, not big things. The axle seals did not leak, which is, if you watch the previous episode, replace those. They're still good. Everything is good there. So I talked about a little bit at the track. The carburetor jetting. I messed with the jetting a bunch. I'm still going to play with it a little bit more, but the other thing I messed with was the squirters in the carburetor. The squirters that are in the top of the carburetor, I've gone down to the smallest size squirter I can. Here's part of the thing. So this is a 355. It's kind of a stock bottom end, cast crank, stock rods, flat top four eyebrow relief pistons. Nothing special about the bottom end. It's got a set of world product 2 heads that have been ported and have 205 valves instead of 202. Otherwise, the engine is nothing special. But the cam is a Lanati Bracket Master 2. It's like a 515 lift 302 duration, which is probably too big for the setup in this car. Now this car does have a 410 gear, but it only has a 2500 stall, partly because of the transmission choice I have with a 204R overdrive. So the transmission is limited on stall converters. You can get like a 3 or 3500 stall for a 204R transmission, but they are super expensive. So I went cheap, did a 2500 stall. That's why this thing struggles so much out of the hole. It's got a lot of cam, not a lot of stall. It's got a lot of gear, but doesn't have a lot of stall. So the carburetor on this thing is a 650 Brawler mechanical events double bumper. So when you nail it off the line, it's getting all the fuel at once. So every time I've made the squirter smaller in the secondary, it's gotten better. I'm down to the smallest size squirter I can. So I'm probably going to do some jetting to maybe make sure that I'm not running out of fuel at the top end. But it seems like it's doing pretty good. Every pass, it doesn't feel like it's laying over or anything like that. And now it's leaving much better. By the 199 60 foot, picked up 400s in the 60 foot. If you drag race, you know that's a lot. And that equals more as you go down the track. You know, a 10th in the 60 foot is way more than a 10th at the end of the quarter mile. That gain multiplies. So that's why the car did so much better. I think in the quarter mile, I'd probably be mid-13s, which is exactly where I thought this car would be when I first put this engine in it. So backstory, this engine was in a 72 Nova that I had 20 years ago, and it ran 1270s, 1260s pretty consistently. And the engine setup is pretty much the same. A little bit different carburetor, different distributor, but for the most part, this engine is the same as what was in the Nova that ran 12s. Obviously the wagon weighs 600-700 pounds more, and it doesn't have as much stall. I got full exhaust where the Nova was open headers. So you start doing the math, and I was like, well, this thing should be good for a mid 13. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm pretty happy with that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as well. And we'll see you in the next video.